about to go somewhere out now. Times to rise and elevation starts to drop down. Our little secret, don't kiss and tell, you're so bad. I'll probably see you in hell. Welcome to hell, baby. This is podcast hell.
Welcome to the podcast, by the way.
Oh, hey.
We're starting. I do think people should have free choice. But I think it's okay to be like, your choice is dumb. People can do whatever they want. I'm not saying
you can tell them their choice is dumb.
I'm not saying it should be illegal to be in a polyamorous relationship.
Uh-oh.
I'm saying I don't think it's a good idea.
We started the pod with me defending, just being woke and you know.
It's all good. What is that?
Nothing. You told me to prepare things for the podcast.
You did not really prepare things for the podcast.
You told me to prepare things for the podcast. You may not see it.
Let me just real quick.
No.
Real quick.
No, I can read it aloud to you if you like.
I don't want it to be read. I want to just look at it real quick.
No.
What did you
gotta look at my preparation?
What did you prepare for the podcast? I feel like this is a deposition. If there's things that I've said on there that you don't like, it's getting ripped up. We're not doing that. Is that what you brought?
Well, I brought two things.
Put it down. We're gonna chat, and then maybe if I'm in a good mood in a half hour, I'll let you do that. I don't know. I don't know what's in there.
Can I start with my thing that won't make you mad?
Before we do that, your name is Meredith.
I'm Meredith Hackman.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for inviting me.
No problem. This is the first time I've done this with these arms.
Oh, great.
Usually I just have people hold the mic like this, and it's been a little more chill.
No, I like it being very formal. We don't have a very relaxed relationship.
Now, is it weird if I do this and you look like you're testifying in a murder case?
Yeah.
Does that bother you?
It feels like, that you are questioning me about a murder that you suspect me of committing.
I think we should both do this.
Okay. You set up the arms.
I know.
I didn't bring my own microphone arms.
I set up the arms, and as soon as we started, I was like, why am I doing the arms?
Okay. All right. Well.
So once you do that, and then move that out of the way so they can see your face.
You know, we could have done this before we started recording.
Yeah, every show starts with 2 minutes.
We're just counting down to an hour. Anything that's going to fill the hour for Eric. Every show starts with 2 minutes of me being like, I should have done a better sound check. Right.
That's the beginning of every show.
And what a great pod it is.
And as you listen to it, so you can't make fun of it. I should lower my voice a little bit. Okay. You listen to it.
I do.
Yeah. It's like you.
Yeah, who's going to listen to
my
this?
Mom.
If I'm on it, who's listening to it?
Nobody. There's this is the half of. If my mom was working the camera, this would have 0 views and 0 listens.
It's a live show. Gordon is at my feet, and I want to use him to put my feet on him, but that feels like a bad call.
At some point, I'm going to have to find a way to get Gordon visually on the podcast. Because the camera cuts off at the table.
Right.
So the whole show, I'm like talking to somebody, and then it just looks like I'm coming down here and like scratching my asshole. But it's because the dog is here constantly.
I mean, scratching your asshole would also be on brand for the podcast. I think you should just lean into whatever the viewers think you're doing.
Yeah.
You can have a picture of Gordon right here on the desk.
I think that's too much.
All right.
I think what I will do eventually is I'll probably clear off that couch, and I'll have the camera pointing towards the couch. And then
you just discuss ways that you're going to make the pod better on the pod, Eric. This is the pod.
This is the podcast.
All right, I'm doing my plan bit.
I also told you to. I was like, hey, it's a video podcast, so camera ready.
Yeah.
And
am my camera ready or what?
You're camera ready. I'm dressed like a fucking loser.
I know. I walked in and I was like, he's told me camera ready.
What did you...
Like, if I show up ugly, he's going to not let me do the pod.
If you... yeah, I would really do that. Hang on, stop. Yeah, let's let that lay out in the fucking ether forever. Yeah, if you came to my room, I was like, you walked up to the house, I went like, hey, you're ugly, you can't come on the podcast.
Yeah. Well, that's what the phone call was. It was like, you call me back and you were like, make sure, like, it's on camera.
I didn't call you back, I texted you back.
So you texted, which you don't normally do, so I know it's high priority.
I said that because...
You hate texting.
I said that because when I did it with my brother, I didn't tell him that it was a video podcast.
And he looked like shit?
Well, he looks great.
He's a handsome man.
But he was
Everyone knows.
I think he was a little annoyed
I
think he was a little annoyed that I didn't tell him it was a video podcast.
Oh.
And I don't know if you
What would he have worn?
Well, he changed. Like once I he saw me setting up the camera, he went in his room and put on a shirt. But I think he would have just worn like what I'm wearing, like workout clothes.
Yeah, but you don't care is the point.
I don't care.
Yeah. You were looking out for me.
Yeah, I was trying to be like, oh, it's, you're a lady. I know there's no difference between men and women anymore.
What's on the paper?
Let me get out my point, and then we'll go to your thing. But I was like, you're a lady. I think a lady and a dude would appreciate, more ladies than dudes, but both would appreciate a heads up. Like, it's a video podcast.
I did.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
And I think a guy could appreciate that too.
Of course. Your brother would have appreciated
My
it.
brother's a very, like, what's the word? Metrosexual?
He like cares about his appearance.
Yeah, gay.
He's
gay.
He likes to be put together. He's not a slob wandering the streets in his undershirt.
Get out of here.
Undershirt that he cleaned in.
You know, if you go out that way, there's a pool. The way out is
from the second floor. You're trying to get me to jump off the second floor of your house?
If you call me a slob one more time, you're going poolside.
Well, I was defending your gay brother.
Please be listening to this, brother.
Yeah, write in if you're listening. Put it in the comments.
You're making fun of me, telling them to go in the comments? Can you pieces of shit go in the comments? One comment. That's not from the person on the fucking podcast.
Oh, yeah, I'll go in the comments.
You go in the comments.
I'll go in the comments. I'll only do it for my own comments.
Do you want to do what's fun?
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
You know what it is?
Yeah, you're going to tell me to do the YouTube live thing.
Why not?
I'm not doing it.
Why?
Just listen to watch myself in a video live.
But you don't have to watch yourself. We just chat. And then, like, there's a video playing. And then people who are watching can come in and comment.
I heard a rumor about what happened last time.
Tell me the rumor.
The rumor is that you left before the podcast was over.
That's not a rumor. I did that. I left. I went to go make a sandwich, and then I forgot.
You forgot to come back to your own podcast. You were doing a live, and you were the only one chatting, and you left the podcast.
All right, listen.
And you want me to attend that?
Listen, there's a national shortage on Ritalin right now, so I haven't had my ADHD medicine for like a month.
Oh, no.
So yes, I forgot.
You need that medicine so bad you can't even say the last D in the diagnosis. It's just ADHD now.
ADHD.
Okay.
I haven't had my medicine, and yes, I asked Rob, your husband.
My husband. He was supportive. He listened to the entire podcast.
He listened to the entire podcast and commented.
You left.
I left my own YouTube
That's
premiere.
why I know. The rumor was from my husband, Rob.
Yeah.
Guest of the pod.
You'll notice when you came on, I didn't say, give it up for Rob's wife on my show.
I really appreciate that.
My friend.
I was my own person.
Or my friend's wife.
My friend's wife.
That's what you got mad at me for saying.
I didn't get mad at you. I mocked you. Sometimes
there was some anger there.
Well, sometimes you think that I'm being mad and I'm just joshing with you. Yeah, but you're always angrily joshing. But you can't take it. You can dish it and you can't take it.
I don't think that is true.
No,
but I don't like that you said it.
Okay, remember?
Yeah. Okay, fine. I don't like, no, but I do feel.
You don't like that I said it, but it is true. Was what you said?
That's what it.
Great. That's good.
I think it's true.
Okay.
I think I probably don't love being roasted.
Where does that come from?
I don't know. Who gives a shit? I don't want to. It's not going to be therapy. All right. This is a chill podcast.
Remember when Jabril came on your show and then he just kind of gave you therapy?
It was
phenomenal.
It was Gibran.
I just made up a name for him.
Gibran Hamden.
Gibran Hamden. He was great.
He was great.
Yeah, I liked listening to him give you therapy.
For devotees will know what you're referencing. When this was Bringing the Backups podcast, I had the star quarterback from my high school. When I was a freshman, he was a senior. He played for the then Washington Redskins for a little bit. He came on the podcast, and I was like a little starstruck because when I was 13, he was like a different species of human. He was like 6 foot
star football player,
6'4", 220 pounds,
and so were you.
Got a fat dick. He was a good-looking guy.
Yeah,
and he was the king of our school.
Yeah,
and I was just like,
and he gave you therapy on your podcast.
What did he say?
He just kept asking you questions about your personal life and what caused that and your trauma.
Yeah, he lives in Portland and stuff, and he was probably high. Whatever, good for him.
I loved it.
It was a fun podcast, and I keep in my head whenever I see that he did the show, I'm like, oh, I should ask him back just as a point of like, it'd be fun to talk to him again.
Yeah. But
I also don't want to do remote podcast.
Yeah, because then you'd have to discuss your issues with the Zoom and how you should have shot the Zoom better. And, you're using a different.
It takes away an element.
You were so much nicer to Perkins.
Already?
I don't Perkins really, really, blew smoke up your ass.
You can't come on here and just critique other episodes of the pod. We have to I want to live in the moment.
Okay. All right.
I want to live in our moment.
So you want to discuss...
This is our moment on this podcast.
You want to discuss what you did wrong about filming this podcast, but not what happened in previous podcasts.
Well, the main concern I have is that it's too dark in here.
Yeah, this is better. This is better than me bringing up a previous podcast. This is much better.
It's dark in here. It's not as dark as Rob's podcast, which looks like it's shot in the fucking Batcave at midnight. That like there's
sexy. You have a problem with sexy podcast?
No, I want to pit you against your husband now. That's
sorry, my husband knows some mood lighting. God damn. Keeps it dark, keeps it loungy, you know? Okay, we can't all have stark white walls and you don't like undershirts.
Undershirts and skin that blend into the wall like fucking Tobias in the Blue Man Group.
I did a full face of makeup for you. I covered up things on my face.
You didn't do it for me. You did it for the people.
I did it for myself in a couple of days watching it.
Do you see
live on the YouTube?
Rob's episode of the podcast has 100 views on YouTube.
Wow. Are there comments about his body? Like sexy comments?
No.
Because I'll kill him. Oh.
Would you really get mad at him if he had that?
I wouldn't get mad at him. I'd track down whoever commented.
If we can rewind it, you can. Your exact words were, "I'll kill him."
Oh, I said I'll kill them.
You'll kill them.
I'll kill them. I don't want to assume the gender of the person commenting
them,
about my sexy husband.
Them, a group of people, or one person?
Them, one person. How does that make you feel?
I'm all right. So you will. But you get a little jealous. You think?
Yeah. You and I are both jealous people. We've talked about this.
I don't get as jealous anymore. I've worked on it.
Because you're healthy now?
Because I'm what?
You're healthy? You're mentally healthy now?
I'm more mentally healthy than I was.
That's nice.
I think.
I don't think it...
No, I think I had to we won't get too into details on it. But, there was like a little bit of an old reckoning with my jealousy at one point.
Oh, got it.
With Madame Galalis. And she was like, knock it off, for real. And I was like, okay. So I had to
oh, that's nice.
Be less jealous.
That's good. Does she never gets jealous at all?
No.
Yeah, Rob never gets jealous.
Annoying.
Very annoying. Just get a little jealous.
A little jealous, please.
I'm very desirable and people want to steal me away, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Is that so hard for him to react to?
I think it's like, I've also been both. Like, I've been in a relationship where the other person was way more jealous than me and I was like the calm person. I think it's better to be the jealous person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the one who cares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get
our spouses could take us or leave us.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate. I like I said, I'm less jealous now. Liz is definitely the most.
Yeah, I'm not too crazy. I haven't keyed anyone's car or anything, but no. I would probably respond to a comment.
I thought about keying someone's car yesterday. I'm
unsurprised.
Somebody really pissed me off.
Was it Gordon related?
In the neighborhood? I didn't do it.
Oh.
In case somebody from the fucking HOA is listening.
Your podcast is mostly listened to in a court hearing. Join the YouTube live for the court hearing.
Yeah. No, I thought about keying someone's car. I didn't do it. I actually have never done that before.
No, I'm glad you controlled yourself.
But somebody was a real piece
of work.
Piece of shit.
Oh, said shit.
Yeah, they left their lights on.
Oh.
Now maybe they had one of those cars that was like automatically turns off.
Okay.
The lights, but it was on for a while because I was like kind of like cleaning shit out of the front seat.
If only I had something that held this microphone for me.
Put it back in the thing. I'm just saying it's going to be weird if I'm all loosey goosey and you're.
I haven't worked out. I haven't worked out to prep.
This is a workout.
I have very weak arms.
Okay.
And my grip strength. I don't even want to tell you about my grip strength.
Use that, and people will wonder why I'm cross-examining somebody on my fucking show for the YouTubers.
So nice.
So yeah, this person left their lights on. I thought, they got out of their car and left, and I like kind of noticed it after a while. And then when I got out of my car, I was taking trash to the garbage. I noticed they were just like hanging out outside, and I went, "Hey, I think you might have left your lights on." And she goes, "No."
Oof.
And I go, you fucking... And I like had the keys in my hand, and I was like, I could just pretend I forgot something and go back and carve.
But so you're mad at her not because she left her... You're mad at her because you tried to do something nice and she shot you. She also acted like you were being a dick.
It's not her first time being rude. She was rude to Liz like a week ago.
Okay.
Like,
what would you key into her car?
She lets her dog fucking run around without a leash.
Okay.
There's poop all over our neighborhood.
Okay.
I think it's those... Anybody who's not putting their dog on a leash, I think is not cleaning up their dog's poop as well.
Sure.
And it's a huge problem.
Yeah, because they're
I almost got into a fist fight with a fucking Russian guy over there because people are losing their minds about stepping in poop.
I know.
Oh, he just put his head on my toe.
The podcast should be just you describing what Gordon's doing.
That would be a good podcast as well.
That would be a good podcast.
Do you know that you're carrying too much poop in your body and you would feel better if you got it out? I'm just kidding. This is still Eric. There's no ads on this podcast right now, but there is something you can do to help me out, which is right now on YouTube. Like this video and leave me a comment. It kicks it up in the algorithm, helps me get more subscribers, people that can find the content, and eventually, if you do this, I can get somebody on the podcast to actually sell you something that gets the poop out of your body. Please subscribe to my channel, like the video you're watching right now, and leave me a comment. I really appreciate it. Back to the show. So anyway, I thought about keying a car.
Okay, but you didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
That's a good end to the story.
Have you ever keyed a car?
No.
What's the most fucked up thing you've ever done that you would never tell anyone? And names.
I mean... I don't think I've really committed any act of vandalism. It's hard to talk. Emotionally, I've done terrible things, probably.
What does emotionally mean?
Just like, you know, I've said things to people that were rude or fucked up.
Oh, like cutting comments?
Sure. Yeah.
Like,
I don't want to talk about this.
Like your friend like wears something that you don't like, and you're like...
Because I'm a woman. I'm a woman, so it's like I don't like your outfit.
Well, you filled that in yourself. I didn't say that.
I'm like, you're coming on my pod wearing that.
But you, your friend goes, what do you think about my jumper?
Jumper.
And you go, you know, it's funny. I like it, but our friend Susan, when I asked her about it, she had a weird look on her face, like she might not have like. And you plant a seed to destroy.
You know me so
Is it
well.
Things like that?
No, never in my entire life.
Well, then what is it? You said you do a terrible emotional things.
You said, what terrible things have you done? And you
back it up.
No, you said I thought about keying a car, and then you go, name something you've actually done that's terrible. And the only things that are coming to mind are things that I regret deeply in my life that I refuse to bring up that keep me up at night. And I don't have like a casual, like I thought about doing this thing that was like kind of a crime.
What a funny thing to do on a podcast is to bring a guest into your home and be like, tell me something that can ruin your life.
Yeah, you're so funny.
There's Gordon.
Do a funny thing.
There's Gordon. All right, what's on the fucking list? Now it's going to bother me if I don't know what's on it. But if I have the right to, on my own podcast... I'm not going to be read the riot act, all right? So if I don't like it, it's getting flushed.
Welcome to Bringing the Backups. This week on Bringing the Backups, Joshua Treadwell McCown. And then this is the part where I read the Wikipedia.
Now, is his middle name really Treadwell?
Yeah, Treadwell.
I know Josh McCown.
Yeah.
He's famous. He's been on like 15 teams.
Yeah, it says that it says 12, but then another article said 19, but this is Wikipedia.
Yeah. It's Wikipedia.
You pronounced it Wikipedia like 20 times in front of me.
God damn it, Gordon. Get out of there. He's hitting the thing.
He's moving
Gordon,
the camera.
Out. You can't go over there. I got to go check to see if he moved this sucks.
I'll keep reading. So, Josh McCown was on many teams, a journeyman, they say. And his second to last team, you know what it is? Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, he was,
Yeah. And then they tried to hire him as a coach. I learned a lot about him. They tried to hire him as a coach.
Texans tried to hire him as a coach.
No. The Eagles tried to hire him as coach. And he said, no, I want to keep playing quarterback.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, that is right.
And then the Texans tried to hire him as a coach. And he said, I want to keep playing quarterback. And now, this year, as of February 10th, 2023, hired by the Carolina Panthers as a quarterback coach.
Yeah, Houston wanted to make him the head coach with no experience. And there was like an uproar. Because there's like they want more black coaches, and they're like, black coaches never get hired without experience. So there was like a little bit of I just burped into the fucking mic. So there was a little bit of a controversy. So I think he either withdrew his name from consideration for the Texans, but then the guy from Carolina brought him on. He's an OC now, right? He's an offensive. Yeah. Why? I'm talking to you like you like football.
No. Here's the thing.
I do know a lot about Josh McCown.
Yes. Okay. Great. Well, I don't think that you did him on Bringing the Backups.
I didn't yet.
Okay. You didn't yet. You're not doing the podcast anymore.
So it's done.
So now we've done it. Now I've done it. I brought him. I'm the one who's good.
You know what his best play? You know his best play in his career?
Of course.
Let me hear it.
He threw the ball far.
He threw a touchdown as part of the Cardinals. They were like 3-12. They were not making the playoffs. But the Packers would go to the playoffs if the Vikings beat the Cardinals. So it was like a play-in game. And on the last play of the game, he threw like a 40-yard Hail Mary to a guy named Nathan Poole on the Cardinals, who has like, I think 3 catches in his entire career. But one of them is the last play of the game. Josh McCown, Nathan Poole, back of the end zone. They beat the Vikings, and I think it was the Vikings it was either the Vikings or the Packers. Now I can't remember. But they eliminated them from the playoffs.
Oh, that's so exciting.
So it was like literally like the Cardinals are 3-13 and they're like running onto the field crying like they won the Super Bowl. And then the other team is crying because they've actually been eliminated from the playoffs, losing to the worst team in the league. And it was McCown when he was like, I want to say his second or third year in the league. And everybody was like, oh, this guy is going to be
everything.
This is the quarterback of the future. And he just became a journeyman.
Well,
anyway, what else about him?
I just did the highlights. I mean, I don't want to do your whole job for you.
It's not my job.
I just want to talk about backup quarterbacks. One time on your podcast, because I'm a fan, you said, I have a friend who told me she listens to the pod religiously because it's the only so that she has something to talk to her dad about.
Is that still true for you?
No, it was never true. It was a joke I said to you.
Oh.
That you took very seriously and told your friends, all women should listen to the pod so they can connect with their fathers. I'm very close with my father. We have many things to talk about. Yes, I liked hearing occasional Cleveland Brown stats, but they didn't come up that often.
But it doesn't.
I like football. I've mentioned many times I like football.
I didn't say you didn't like football.
I love it.
I think women and men like football equally.
Oh, I know I give off big theater energy, okay? But I like a football game. I haven't memorized the stats. I don't know the top plays of Josh McCown.
Liz was listening to some podcast recently, and they were talking about how football is rigged because sometimes the games are close. And I was losing my mind. I was like, this is deeply hurtful to suggest that it's not real. That's a real theory. People really think that they
to what end though? Like why?
I mean, you could say that with a lot of conspiracy theory. Like
sure.
The end is the fucking insane people in their head and their conspiratorial minds need.
Aren't you the person who thought the Generals were a real basketball team for a while?
I did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But the Generals are.
You're like, I just always believe in sports.
The Generals are a sick team though, like actual talent wise.
Okay.
Because what happens is the Globetrotters are like, and they like do all these cool moves and dunks. But then like if the Generals are losing by 30, there's like they have to hit certain points in the script. Like the Generals have to come back and it has to be close in the fourth. Generals have to make a run.
So it is like theater.
It is literally theater, but the Generals also have to just be like, oh guys, we actually need 20 points to. Okay, 3. Like they just start draining shot once they need to. They are like the best players ever, but nobody cares. Like they're
why are they relegated to the Generals? Do they play better?
Because it's like wrestling.
I mean,
it's like wrestling. The person that's winning a wrestling match, like professional wrestling.
Yeah.
The person that's winning a match is no more talented as a wrestler than the person losing the match. They've already predetermined who wins and who loses.
But I mean, like, why aren't those people being called on to real basketball teams? If they're so good at basketball.
I mean, some of them might be retired basketball players. That's a possibility. I would also bet a lot of them are like G League players. So probably people that maybe couldn't make it as like full NBA players, but are still really good and have like a specific skill. Like maybe one guy's a really good 3-point shooter, one guy's a really good rebounder. So that
like no one's trying to block them because they're supposed to make the shots. So like maybe they're not good at reacting on a court in real time under pressure.
At certain points, I'm sure the Globetrotters are like, don't play defense. The Globetrotters really don't play defense ever. Sure. That's not what they do. They play.
I love listening to you talk about sports.
It's fun.
You made me not hate baseball.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to sneeze.
Oh, God. Gesundheit.
Thank you.
Yeah, you described baseball so beautifully.
What did I describe it as?
We went to a game for Rob's birthday, and I was like, this is torture. And you were like, I find whoever the underdog is, and I hear their backstory. And then I can root for them. And every time they come out on the field, I can cheer for them, and it's like a narrative.
I do that for Liz because she's a lady and she doesn't understand the sport.
All right, should I read the rest of what's on the paper?
Can you lower the microphone? It's in your eyes right now, so anybody on the video, they're seeing this.
Who's looking at this video?
Lower the...
And they're like, we got to see Meredith's eyes.
Here's what you have to do. You have to go down.
Look, I'm talking to you about sports.
Boom, like that.
Oh.
So your face is visible to the...
But can you hear me still?
Yeah, but just have it come up. Yeah,
it's so hard for me as a lady.
Apparently. What's on the next? What's next on the list of things that I... It better not... If it's a list of things that I've said...
This is a list of grievances about the show.
It's not a list of grievances. Is it actually a list of grievances?
Number one, I've already brought this up to you.
Oh, my God. You're really going to do this?
Women don't quote movies is something that you said. Obviously, we've already discussed this. Women do quote movies. They're not biologically less inclined to be funny, so they don't try to quote movies. That's not a thing.
Oh, my God.
Number two, women taking last names is fine. And also, women don't have to take your last name. Perkins was like, I would never change my last name. That's my identity.
Yeah, and he's good.
Why did I make his voice so low? He's the lowest voice man you've ever...
You're really fucking flaming Perkins on this podcast,
Yeah, I'm really
you?
coming for Perkins. He's one of the loveliest men I've ever met in my life. Okay, women are allowed to not take last names.
He had a rough time on the podcast, though. He said some wild shit last week.
Yeah, I wrote a lot of it down. I really came for Perkins.
Okay, great.
All right. Is this your favorite part of your pod?
Oh no, it's great.
Okay.
I have a podcast where last week I said Aaliyah flew her plane into the World Trade Center, and someone's calling me to task on things that on the podcast where I said that.
Well, I have a note. Like I'm not including anything that's like too crazy because I just don't want to like bring it up. Like you know what you did about those things. You know. Okay, these are just like little things. Okay, so number 3 in the Brad episode, you mocked him for thinking that Gary Oldman transforms himself as an actor.
He did no. But what was his example?
The example was Darkest Hour.
No.
And, yes,
but what
yes.
Who did he think Gary Oldman was?
Sure. No. But that is you doing classic. You're doing classic distraction techniques. No, he thought that Gary Oldman played Gollum, which was ridiculous.
You said it fast. I don't think they picked it up.
They've heard all the podcasts. Everyone listening has heard all the podcasts.
Not true.
Go back and listen, and you'll know what Brad said. But you said in Darkest Hour, he just plays some British guy.
Yes.
You know what the correct answer is?
Winston Churchill.
In a full fat suit. So were you wrong? I think you should tell Brad.
He gained that weight. That was all real weight gain.
All right. I think Brad knows that you were wrong. Number 4.
Hang on. I'm not wrong. Brad thought he was Gollum.
But you said in Darkest Hour, he just plays some British guy and he never transforms as an actor.
And then afterwards, he suggested that he played some other character in some other movie that was not him. And I was like, who do you think Gary Oldman is? Gary Oldman plays human beings who look like Gary Oldman.
I'm not trying to say that Brad is an intelligent person.
What the fuck? Jesus
should
Christ.
I not be roasting people on your pod?
Well, they're not here to defend themselves.
Yeah, that's what the power of the pod. They've already come on, so you're probably not going to have them back for a while, so they won't remember to roast me back.
So Perkins is a piece of shit. Brad's an idiot. What else?
No, Brad's very smart, and everybody is very smart and nice. Number 4, how often are you going to talk about shit on this pod?
Shit?
Or are people actually going to take actual 30-minute shits during the pod often?
He did that.
Because sometimes I'm eating when I listen to this.
Well, yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah,
if I could take that back.
Okay.
The whole goal of this is I don't want to fucking edit shit.
I understand, which is why I have to bring a list of grievances so you can redact the things that you did wrong.
But by the way, the inspiration for me not wanting to edit the podcast, your husband. Okay, what he does with his podcast, insane.
Look, I'm calling people monsters and idiots, but you are really coming for Rob Stern's podcast technique.
It's not well lit, and he does so much editing that I go I won't edit my podcast at all because I just can't. I'll go crazy. I'm already going crazy under the work of delivering this high premium comedy to people once a week. Right,
which brings me to number 5, which is Mike Perkins lied to you. The solo eps do go off the rails. Perkins was like, I love the hour of you describing the flags on your mom's barn.
Yeah, Mike is a nice person.
What a nice man. I just need to bring you back down to reality.
You know who Mike is? I do know who he is.
He's
No. I know who you know. I know you've literally.
And Brad is actually very smart.
Don't go, but just commit.
I'm the one defending him.
Commit to what
Gary Oldman.
But you also called him an idiot.
But that was for funnies.
It seemed like it came from a real place, and all comedy does. You can't just tell jokes.
No, I can't. I can't just do dry humor around you because you thought that I was Gene Hackman's niece for like 4 years.
Well, because you said you were. I
said it
take
real
people
dry.
At their word.
Who's Mike Perkins?
Mike Perkins he's Jimmy Fallon. Like, have you seen his show? That is his vibe. He is like he even said it on the podcast. He's like, what do I have to say to make you like me? Like that's nice. He is like a person who likes to connect with people. He's not like a know-it-all. I should spend more time with him. I should listen to his pod. He doesn't have a pod. Oh, well. He has a show. Oh. That's great. So he has a monthly show. But that, like I said, he reminds me of Jimmy Fallon. Like that, he's at that open, welcoming vibe to everybody, and like, he's nice. You really have to do a lot to piss him off. I've seen him pissed off at people, and it's uncomfortable. So me like saying mean things about him, I will get there'll be no retribution, and I'll get away with it. He might maybe you'll be maybe I'll break the straw that broke the camel's back, and he'll kill you. I don't know. What's next? What's number 6? How many fucking problems are there with my show? It's a video podcast. No. That I think I've mentioned everything. Are you pulling away? Yeah. What were the other things? I mentioned those things already. Oh, okay. But there's still more in there. There's a whole nother section underneath that. That was a part of the backup information. There was a lot in the Wikipedia. Josh McCown is really well known. What'd you say? His middle name was like Treefort? Treadmill or something? His middle name is Treadwell. Treadwell? I like it. I don't like it. What do you think of Jack Daw as a character name? Jack Daw? Like if someone shook your hand and goes, hey, I'm Jack Daw. How do you spell You'd trust him, right? How do you spell Daw? D-A-W. No. No? If someone came up to you and they were like, my name is Ethan Treadwell. Do you regret asking me to do this podcast? Treadwell? Treadwell would be fine as a last name. Okay. That was my criticism of it, is that it's a last name, middle name. Okay. I don't like... How often do you hear people's middle names? I cannot say words right now. What's your middle name? Treadwell? Treadwell. What's your middle name? Yeah, guess what an old Jewish man's name would be? I don't know. You're gonna say something racist? Yeah, I was gonna be like Glockenspiel. I don't know. What is it? Barry. Barry? Barry. How do you spell it? B-A-R-I. Oh, like Barry Weiss. Barry. B-A-R-I. Yeah. Not Barry White. Oh. Barry Weiss. Oh. That's B-A-R-I. Not Meredith Barry Hackman. Yeah, I love it. That's not bad. No, I'm a fan of it. I don't mind the name Barry. What's your middle name? Carl. I gotta let the dog out. He's whining. Frederick. I'm gonna take a shit too. Yeah, I'll hold the podcast down. You guys seen the Fast and Furious movies? I brought in a breakdown of every Fast and Furious movie just in case Eric had to walk away for 20 minutes. Don't worry, Gary's gonna call in with a Vin Diesel impression. I would love that. He used to do that on the old podcast. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. Okay. All right? If you want Gary Denoya on the podcast... Sign a petition? People, no. Go in the YouTube comments. I forgot they were even here. That's what a good time I'm having. They're right there. What's your obsession with hell? There's no obsession with hell. I was worried about calling it Podcast Hell because people thought I was gonna have to do like a themed show. It's just Hellwig. And have you heard the reason why it's called that? No. Lucas, my friend that you know, I was talking with him and he was like, talking about some show and like putting in a packet, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to put in packets anymore. And he was like, oh, what, are you just gonna fucking live in podcast hell for the rest of your life? And I was like, that's a nice place. And that was before, by the way, I was not doing my podcast at that point. It was just a thing that stuck in here. And then I was like, when I came back, I was like, I want to have that as the name. The number of ideas that I've stolen from Lucas is immeasurable. Yeah. Every once in a while you're having a normal conversation with him and he says something brilliant and you're like, oh, I should write that script. And he's like, that would be an amazing script. And then I'm like, you can write it. And he was like, no, I'm going to forget about this in an hour. And you're like, oh, great. Guess I'll write that script. Yeah, he's a smart guy. Smart guy. Funny guy. Should I say something bad about him too? That's because I'm on a roll. If you want to, yeah. Everyone going to hate me? This is the kind of thing I do. And then I'll lay up at night and worry that they actually hate me. And then I'm going to get a worried text and being like, can you edit out that part? Or I maybe thought to say something mean about Lucas. Yeah. And I'll be like, no, that's the clip.
That's the worst thing I ever did. Remember earlier when you asked that?
No, there are real bad things that you've probably done.
What have I done to you? Do you want to bring that up?
No.
Okay. The reason I ask about hell is
can we say something? We are friends. We're fighting. We've been fighting the whole time. We are friends. We get along.
Yeah.
We hang out a lot.
Isn't this how we usually talk, though?
Normally. Usually our spouses are here to break it up.
Some kind of buffer.
Yeah, when it's like a straight hour of us fighting.
Yeah, I wonder why you've never asked me to be on a pod before, and I guess like this is my answer. I really came with fighting words.
I thought about buying a third mic and having you being a third guest with Liz or Rob.
So you didn't have to be alone with me.
Just so we wouldn't fight.
You knew we would fight?
I knew we would fight. I knew you know what? I fucking knew you'd bring a list. That's what I knew. And I was like, in my head, I was like, if she brings if she makes me answer for things I've done on the podcast, I'm going to lose my fucking shit.
That wasn't so bad. Was that so bad?
That was not so bad, but I feel like it could have been worse. Because every time I see you, you go, you said something last week. I'm like, fuck, what did I say?
And then you go, Meredith, I really appreciate that you listen to my pod.
Yeah, that's me going to therapy.
Yeah.
And learning to, whatever.
But my move is that I remember anything anyone's ever said to me, and then I bring it up to them like 2 years later when they least expect it.
That's your move?
It's my move. It's my friendship move.
It's your move.
Is that not a good? Do people not like that?
No, it probably feels like you're keeping score, which people generally don't enjoy.
But you think people like me?
I'm sure people like you.
You're sure people like me?
I don't know.
You're not saying that you like me. Your response wasn't you like me.
Meredith, first off, you are under no control if people like you. That's their prerogative.
But
they
Perkins
like you.
Is making it work.
But
Perkins is making everyone like him.
But to be upset that I don't know if other people like you is crazy. Who knows if people like you? It doesn't matter if people like you. You have to like yourself, and you have to feel like you're treating people kindly. And
I'm very kind.
All right. Well, then it should be fine. But some people might not like you. That's like
a lot of people don't like me.
You think so?
No, sometimes I talk to people, especially women. They're like,
excuse me?
When in Rome. And they're like,
you can be a sexist pig on this show. You're welcome to do that.
No, but sometimes they'll be like, yeah, there's people who don't, or they'll say, people don't like me. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's plenty of people who don't like me. And they're like, I can't think of anyone who doesn't like you. And I'm like, you're incorrect. I know people who don't like me. Why would you put that out there?
People don't like me. I had a friend cut me out of his life when I was like 20. Like my best friend was like never wanted to talk to me again. It's very painful.
That sucks. I've been friend broken up with too.
Being friend broken up with is tough, but it's a reminder that like for me it was like I learned a lesson from that about like not because he would do a lot of like technical stuff for it's actually this podcast is really when I learned the lesson, I think, because when we were kids we would make videos and we were in a band and he would like do all the technical stuff and I just thought he liked doing it.
Yeah, you didn't appreciate it.
And then at one point he was like, hey guys, I feel like I'm doing a lot of work here. And we were like, oh sorry man, maybe we could we'll pay you or something, but like we don't want you to feel taken advantage of. And then like a month later someone asked him to do something and he like cut us out. Never spoke to us again. This was like 17 years ago.
Have you ever thought of reaching out?
I mean, I can't. We're all blocked.
Really?
It's like me and two other, like we were a friend group and he removed himself from the group.
Yikes.
And so it wasn't we drifted apart.
Yeah.
He was like, we're never talking again.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no, I've had that.
Yeah. But then now when I started doing this podcast and editing, I was like, oh my God, this is so much.
This is terrible.
I was like,
if someone asked me to do this, I would never speak to them again.
You know who had a point.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, even if I'm paying somebody to do something for me, I'm like very thankful. Or another thing I do now is like, I'll offer to like learn the thing. I'll be like, hey, if it's helpful, can I be over your shoulder and just kind of watch what you do so that maybe I can take some of it off of you the next time. Nice. So like just little things like that. Usually people tell me no, I don't want you over my shoulder. But like just the idea of like, I would like to find ways to make this easier for you. I appreciate your time here. Just paying you isn't enough to like. I want you to feel a part of the process or whatever. But that comes from being friend broken up with.
I learned nothing from my friend breakups.
Really?
Yeah.
There's probably something to be learned. Hey, it's me back again to ruin the flow of the podcast by asking you to like this video on YouTube, leave me a comment, and subscribing to my page. It means a lot, guys. I'm not going to ask you a third time on the podcast. There's only 2 of these per episode now. Please help me out. The podcast is free. This is the one thing you guys can do to help me get it to a place where I can be famous and never talk to you again. Thanks so much. Liking, leaving a comment, and subscribing right here on YouTube. Back to the show. Or is it just too painful?
No, it wasn't too painful. It was just random. Every time it was like kind of erratic and random, and it would just be like, okay, I would love to know what I did wrong. Like, even if you don't want to be my friend anymore, like, if you can tell me what I did so I don't do it in the future, like, that would be nice. Since you're taking the time to tell me you don't want to be my friend anymore. And it was always like not actionable thing. You
said always, so it was like multiple times? Oh, shit.
Maybe.
Oh, shit.
Maybe.
Damn.
Yeah.
I just had the one.
Oh, okay.
But and I had a girlfriend break up with me. So those are 2, I guess.
That's not a friend breakup. That's a breakup.
We were friends. No. I mean, we fucked.
No, you're just trying to make me feel better that I've been multiple friend broken up with.
No, I consider that a friend breakup. Yeah. Here's the thing. It was a friend breakup because she also didn't want to be my friend. So it was.
Right, you did lose a friend.
I did lose a friend.
Yes. All of mine, maybe it was only 2. No, 3. It was like I've seen them again, like after the fact, and it's like we're fine. Like,
did they apologize, or did they ever say like, "Hey, that was fucked up"?
One person was like, "I may have overreacted."
I mean, were these theater kids?
One of them was.
Okay. Well, that one overreacted by virtue of the fact that they're a theater kid. We already know.
Yeah.
They can't be trusted.
Yeah, a lot of the messed up things I did that I was thinking about earlier are related to me being a theater kid and being brought up with like a wrong set of rules.
What was the set of rules?
Just like
whatever the theater needs, the theater gets.
You arrive to the theater and you never leave.
Like somebody gets cast in a role that they're not good for, so you cut their break lines.
Right, just like normal theater things.
Just die in a ditch.
I didn't cut any break lines in case this is being played in a court. I didn't even think about it.
All right. Well, I don't know. Like the theater kid vibe is
you've like become, you're like a secret theater kid. You're like a theater kid on the inside.
Well, because it can be fun. Like it's fun to sing and dance.
Yeah.
And be merry. Yeah. But it's like it goes too far. Like I feel like you guys have like now it's like theater kids are great when they're, you know, the downtrodden of society and they have to band together to create their art. It makes the art better. Now you're in charge of everything and you guys suck. It's like
we're in charge of everything.
You're like the right now, like the theater kids are becoming
Joe Biden theater kid?
He's controlled. He's a puppet, much like a theater. He's like being controlled by theater kids.
What style of puppetry?
I don't know. Gay puppets.
No.
He's just a very listen to me. Theater kids
I do not support things that happen on this
theater
podcast.
Kids are great when they're doing theater. Yes,
agreed.
But like it's like,
but they don't necessarily follow normal rules of society, which is sometimes liberating, and like you can come up with very creative solutions that way. And sometimes it's terrible. It's like you can't just do your theater shit on top of everybody all the time.
Yeah, we saw Carrie 2. Not every idea is good. All right.
I didn't see Carrie 2. What happened in Carrie 2?
Carrie 2
is there a Carrie 2?
It's a notoriously. It's not a Carrie 2. It's just Carrie, a musical.
Oh, great.
And it did not go over well.
Oh.
But I guess my point is like, I feel like things do this. It's like a pendulum. And we've had times where it's like socially conservative people have the reins on society. And that fucking sucks too. Because then nobody can do whatever they want to do and be gay and do stuff that people should be allowed to do. I meant that legitimately.
Good.
Actually
Good.
Be gay and get married and stuff that I think we support it.
Okay, just clarify.
Yeah, it's 2023. I think gay people should get married.
You can't say gay and then I laugh because I know that it's ironic because you do support.
Of course, but then
you gotta have context.
But then if it swings and now only theater kids are controlling what's like socially happening, then it gets too fucking progressive on that side, and you need to rein that back.
I don't think theater kids are controlling shit.
Oh my God.
There's hippy dippy weirdos controlling some shit, but like the theater kids are busy.
The theater kids have too much. The theater kids have too much power now. They need to be brought back down to theater kids.
Name one theater kid that has too much power. Leah Michelle.
I don't know.
This is like the worst conspiracy. It's just like the Jews control the weather of like theater kids.
It's woke.
Theater kids control everything.
You get what I'm saying? Okay, this is what it is. It's someone gets an opportunity, and it's Shane Gillis getting an opportunity in SNL, and somebody writing an article about him that they'd clearly had stored for a long time about like something he said shitting on his podcast.
Sure.
And that person being probably a guy that did improv at open mics that wasn't funny, said fuck that guy, and wrote something mean about him.
But a guy who did improv at open mics, not a theater kid.
Same.
That's more,
but improv.
I'm saying theater kids are too busy waiting in line for the Hamilton lottery.
Don't make them innocent. Theater kids are improv kids.
Okay.
It's alt comedy.
Okay.
That's what I mean by theater kids.
Okay.
I mean alt comedy.
You mean your people?
No, I mean people that come to open mics and
the people you don't like.
People who take up 5 minutes at open mics before me that don't have a fucking joke but need to tell me 3 different people they voted for.
Yeah.
Then they think that's a comedy act.
Remember when we did an open mic together and a guy admitted to like murder?
When did that happen? Oh, yeah, Comedy Boulevard?
Yeah, and then Eric
that made me long for the days of theater kids ruling everything.
You're really missing the
that
theater
was fucking
kids
crazy.
You're really missing people's voting opinions.
A legitimate murder confession.
Yes.
Not a joke.
Not a joke.
Not a maybe this happened, maybe this didn't. Listeners, if you're thinking about getting into comedy, stop now. Turn back. We were at an open mic, and a guy came up. And you remember what happened right before he went up?
I don't.
A lady came up, and she said she fucked her 16-year-old student in Israel.
Right.
Remember that?
Right.
And that felt like nothing.
I do know her. She's very nice.
Yeah. The joke I said on stage was like, I was like, man, that lady that fucked her student, that feels like child's play now. No pun intended.
I like that you forgot that the murderer confession happened for a second, but you remember your joke verbatim.
I did. Well, now I remember the joke. No, because I went up right after the murder confession.
Yeah.
Guy comes up, goes, he didn't start with the murder confession. He started with somebody yelled at him for his dog pooping on their yard. So he now takes the dog poop and smushes it up against the back of that guy's car every day. That was his That was his opener.
Yeah.
And not funny. Could be funny if you were funny. You could make anything funny, but he was not funny.
If he's a fan of the pod, write something in the comments.
Yeah. He's not a fan of the pod. He was very upset with me afterwards.
Was he?
I'll get there.
Oh, okay.
He tells that story. Then he talks about his wife leaving him, how mean his wife was. And then how his wife started dating a new guy. And then that guy's car exploded. And
with him in it.
With him in it.
Yeah.
And he was burned alive.
Yeah.
And killed.
Yeah.
And then everybody thought it was him.
Why did I bring this up?
Then that guy moved to Los Angeles, where another neighbor of his car blew up and that guy died. And he's like, I just feel bad. Like I feel so bad. I didn't do it, but I feel bad. That was his act. That was the set he was working on, was him clearly murdering his wife's new husband and then maybe getting in a fight with a neighbor out here.
I laughed because I'm like trying to be polite, but it's not funny.
There's nothing to be polite.
It's not funny.
It was murder.
Right.
And then when he went down,
you can use this in a court of law, right?
I went up. I recorded him.
You did?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like halfway through his set, I started recording it.
Oh my God.
I think it's in my phone as like murder set or something.
Oh shit.
But like just in case, I was like, I don't know.
Just in case anyone asks.
Also, I went up after him and I fucking made fun of him for like 5 minutes.
It was really funny.
And then everybody was laughing except for him. He was staring daggers at me.
Oh, no.
And when the mic ended, he got up quickly and walked beelined out. I talked to the people that run the theater. He's never come back again.
Oh, my God.
So hopefully he's out. Hopefully he's gone. But I think that's probably happened to me like 5 or 6 times where I've been at a mic and I've been like, this dude's either just committed a crime or he's about to. This is the last stop on. This is the last stop on the train.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't hang out. We fight and then we like witness people saying crimes.
Look, to me, it's motivating for comedy. Like when I have those moments where it's just so bad, I go like, these are the moments that make other people quit.
Yeah,
and like I'm never gonna stop loving doing comedy. Like you can't. It also makes me like I feel like I don't offend easily anymore.
Yeah.
Like that was offensive to me.
Yeah.
Because he killed 2 people.
Right.
I think that's wrong.
And that's good. That's good that you're putting that out there.
But because I'm like, that's my barometer for like being
we
like.
We also don't support people having sex with underage people. It was just a joke.
Why would we support? Oh, because of the lady?
The other person that you mentioned. I felt like I brushed past that. I just want to state we also don't support people having sex with students or underage people. That is something we support.
It was a female teacher having sex with a male student.
That doesn't make it okay.
I'm not saying it's okay. I didn't say it was okay.
One more comedy comes out where it's like, what a funny gag. I love statutory rape when it's the whoopsie version of gender.
Can I tell you the joke I don't like?
Yeah.
That happens that people make all the time now?
Am I going to be upset? Why are we bringing this? Why? You want to talk about this?
Well,
why do we fight every? I wonder why we fight. Because you're like, you want to hear. Okay.
I think you're agree. First off, we weren't saying that it's okay to fuck kids.
Okay.
A lady at a mic said it, and I would have made fun of her had a murderer not come up right after.
Sure,
that was the point.
Sure.
Don't fuck kids.
Okay. What do you want to tell me that's going to upset me?
Don't. Okay, just in case.
Yeah, no, it's
that
good.
Was the
it's
one
good
thing,
to reiterate. That is an important thing to remember.
In case there was one person watching this that was
thinking about it. You stopped them. Yeah, you really saved them. No, that's good.
Stop it.
That's good.
All right. Knock it off. So, no, it's when there's a scene in a movie where a guy is like having sex in a dream and then he wakes up and a chick is fucking him.
It's so messed up.
It's messed up.
Why do we not talk about it? Why do we act like that's okay?
We don't get to name movies.
No, I'm not naming movies.
But like, there's a lot of movies.
There's a strike going on, and we shouldn't be.
We're not allowed to name movies. And we don't want to ruin our place in the industry.
Right. Of course. But don't do that.
There's a lot of movies like that.
That is assault.
Still now.
Why are we acting like that's not assault?
Because it's a dude and a chick, and people don't think it's the same thing.
So messed up.
Yeah, I don't know. You are right.
I feel like in modern society, people know. People know that's not okay anymore.
In modern society?
I feel like that those movies aren't coming out.
No.
Anymore.
There was one that came out last year.
Okay.
I'm just not saying what it was.
Great.
It's a very popular movie.
Okay.
And it has a scene like that.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that is modern society. That movie came out a year ago.
I didn't know that. That sucks.
It's all right.
I'm sorry you saw it.
I'm okay. The only way I'm offended is if I hear somebody confess to a murder. That's my barometer now. That's the most offensive thing. That might be the most upset I've been doing comedy ever. Was that Mike?
Well, I'm glad I could be there.
It was. I'm glad you were there too. It was nice.
You were really funny. To be fair, I was like, I did have a moment. I was talking to my mom about this yesterday. Occasionally, you like interact with people and they do something, and you're like, that's something that I'm aspiring to now. And I was like, seeing you do that, I was like, I am aspiring to being able to handle a situation the way you handled that situation.
That's such a nice compliment.
I mean it.
That's one of the nicest things you could say.
I mean it very truly.
Because I feel like that is, when you start comedy, how long have you been doing stand-up now? 5. Okay. I'm like 8 or 9 years, but like obviously our improv.
And I have like COVID in the middle, so it's like, we both have COVID in the middle. Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I've been doing improv for 23 years.
Oh my God. So you're not new.
Yeah.
And I'm not new.
Yeah.
But like, I remember when I first started doing comedy and crazy shit would happen. Like whatever, the mic cucks out. You're in a bar where nobody's listening.
It kind of sounded like you said the mic
cucks
out.
I meant cuts out. I was like, she's gonna say it.
I was
sounds
like, did it slip? Well, I was
cuts.
just like, I was like, do I have to say cuck if I go on Erick's podcast?
No, cuts.
Okay, great, continue.
Cuts. But like being able to handle those situations now, like a heckler, music is playing, and it fucks with people's concentration. Whatever million things can go wrong in a comedy room, I now feel like I've been through that situation enough and not known how to deal with it that I'm like anything can happen. I can be funny after anything, because to me it does is it just builds tension in the audience, and it's just knowing how to puncture
breaking the tension
in a way that like what is the vibe in the room, and how can I become the voice of the vibe?
Yeah.
People are thinking a thing. They're scared to say a thing. If I can find a way to say it that they can all relate to, it'll cut the tension and the show will be great.
And that's really hard to do. I would say that.
Also, but I also feel like now, like, I'm like, a murderer goes up on a show, I'm like, put me up after.
Yeah, you're like, those are the shows Eric.
I've had those thoughts where I'm on lineups where it's like something's going really wrong, and I almost want to go up to the host and be like, can I please go up next? I want to go up next. I want to go up after a disaster. It's more fun.
Do it. See the light.
Yeah, I don't think I have a good set if I just do everything I planned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel that way? Do you like riffing on stage, or are you like very on script with your jokes?
I mean, I want to be riffing on stage. When I'm
you
doing
brought a fucking script onto my podcast.
Well,
so
I thought it would be funny. I thought it would scare you. I thought it would probably upset you. It seemed like a good time. Also, we only have 4.5 minutes left, because I know there's a hard out.
We have to end. It's a hard out in an hour.
It's a hard out because we're a fan of the pod. We haven't talked about UFOs yet. We can talk about it after the
What's
pod.
UFOs?
UFOs. Or sorry,
UFOs.
UAPs.
UAPs. Thank you.
I apologize. UAPs.
But you said UFOs.
Yeah, we all call it UFOs.
UFOs. I got it. UAPs.
Yeah. We don't have to talk about it. We can talk about it after
No,
the
we
pod.
got 6 minutes. It's a hard out.
Hard out.
There's fucking aliens. You saw one.
No. I don't think there's aliens.
You saw an alien.
I did see a UAP.
Okay.
And we were driving down the highway, and I looked over.
Where were you?
We were going to San Diego. So we were like in San Diego, near the Marine base.
Ton of UAPs in San Diego.
Right.
Like
so then I looked it up, because we were like, what did we just see? Like, will the internet tell us what we just saw? And it was just like, there were just a million articles about other UAPs.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't really. You and Rob and Liz talk about aliens. I mean, for hours. I recorded your wife and my husband talking about aliens for about an hour without them even knowing I was recording them.
What? Wait. What?
And then I told them. Eventually. I was like, I just recorded you. You didn't stop talking about aliens for an hour. Look. If the reason why nobody's reacting is because even if there are aliens, there's so many other questions. It's like, what kind of aliens? What does this mean for us? Like, what is the payoff of aliens?
But you're not. But can I say something?
Yeah.
I know that you don't enjoy when Rob talks about technology, because I don't like it. I've told him to stop talking to me about like fucking AI taking over
robots.
Sales jobs.
Yeah.
He sent me a thing like, hey, look, they have sales AI. I'm like, don't send this to me.
No, we don't need this.
I'm like trying not to get fired at myself.
It's only depressing.
It's only depressing.
Only depressing.
The Terminator script coming true in real life, depressing.
Oh, I thought Rob sent you the Terminator script.
No. Well, the Terminator script is, the first Terminator is amazing.
Oh, I never saw it. I know, I messed up.
You should see it.
I know.
You actually should see it.
I will.
It's like a great movie. And there's so many things that it's one of those movies where when you watch it, you're like, oh, that's what people are referencing. You got to watch it. Okay.
Anyway.
You gotta watch
up,
it.
And there's a metal cube in the sky, okay? And I'm always like rolling my eyes about all your alien talk, and I'm like, please, let's move on from robots and aliens.
Metal cube.
There's a metal cube in the sky. It literally looks like a glitch in the Matrix, and I'm like, what is happening? And so my first thought is, like, this is probably something logical. But I'm like, I've never seen anything like this. Yeah. And my body yelled out, UFO. And Rob is driving a car, talking to Brad on the phone, and on a highway, and looks over, and it's like, that's a UFO. And then we drove past some hills, and then it disappeared because whatever, like we couldn't see it. And then he just sent me an article of someone recorded it in Colombia. And it was the exact same thing that we saw.
Oh.
And I'll show you the video after.
Show me the video.
But like, I don't think it's aliens. Logically, I think Occam's razor is that it is some kind of super technology that's been invented that someone doesn't want us to know about. That's a bunch of money has been spent on.
A floating cube?
Yeah. People are working on advanced technology that I'm unaware of. I'm sorry, I don't have a degree in floating cubes, but like
I don't think that this is what
I'm not saying that aliens can't exist. I'm just saying that the most logical solution is that it is advanced technology that I don't know about.
At this point,
but that's still scary.
At this point, I think the most logical explanation is that they're interdimensional beings.
Why is it the most logical?
Because the sheer Like, did you watch the testimony that they had in Congress where it's like the naval pilots saying they saw a 200, it's like, he's like, me and 3 other guys saw like a football field sized ship drop from 80,000 feet to, which is space, to 30,000 feet and then disappear in the course of like 20 seconds. Wow. He's like, that technology does not exist. It will not exist for the next 100 years. That is not human technology. China or Russia is not creating something on that level. That is non-human technology. That is the only explanation. And again, like, pilots are nerds. They're not like fucking...
I know. I believe pilots.
Yeah, they're not like theater kids who had like a nightmare and then are like, it's real.
The theater kid racism is so specific.
Listen, these are like... losers. Like, if you're an actual pilot, it's not Top Gun.
We love pilots.
No, they're losers. They're like nerds.
Don't clip this and associate me with this.
They don't drink. They don't.
You don't need to defend pilots.
They don't chase pussy.
I like pilots.
They
chase pussy.
They don't chase
Everybody
pussy.
chases pussy.
They can't. They're flying. They're flying $1 million planes. They're very serious people.
I know.
I'm telling you.
I agree.
It's like, it's
not an argument.
This is the point I was telling you, and then we have a hard out.
Hard out.
So I understand not enjoying the AI conversation. Mm-hmm. It's not fun. It's not fun to think about us merging with robots and what that's going to be like. I don't enjoy.
I'd like to think about the legislation we put in place to protect humans and labor rights. Should I go on a labor rights rant right now? Is that what the pod is about?
No.
Okay.
But this is what you should have fun with. The aliens thing is fun. The plot of Terminator, not fun in real life. The plot of Independence Day in real life happening, awesome. You should be having more fun. You're not picturing what's inside the cube. What could be inside the cube?
Confetti.
It could be confetti.
Right.
It could be like the Secret World of Alex Mack, like that type of blob that just turns into different things.
Have you rewatched that in adulthood, by the way?
No, I've not.
Jessica Alba is in it.
You're thinking of the wrong thing.
I'm not.
Wait.
I swear to God.
Jessica Alba is in the Secret World of Alex Mack?
She's a basketball playing bully. You got to rewatch it.
How old is she?
Too young to
I'm
rewatch
not saying
it.
anything. I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying that. But how old is she? Like,
teenager.
Okay, well, I will not. I'm not saying that.
But no, that's what I'm saying. The alien thing is, I need more information.
Why are you telling me Jessica Alba things from when she was 15 years old? That's wrong.
It was surprising to me. I didn't remember Jessica Alba was in it. I'm yelling so much. I've clipped the entire.
Are there other? I think of Jessica Alba's first thing is Dark Angel.
Oh, Dark Angel was good. Did you watch Dark Angel? You were a nerd. You were a little secret nerd.
I did things while I watched it. I wasn't watching it for like love of the story,
the genre.
No,
I was in it for genre love.
I was more of a Jessica Alba fan.
Who's not? Everyone loves Jessica Alba. Honest.
Jessica Alba's great.
Honest company.
And she's also, she's like one of the richest. She's like one of the richest women in the world.
Because of Honest Company. Isn't it Honest?
What's Honest Company?
Isn't that her
It's
company?
like her makeup company or something?
No, she has like I think it's like health and lifestyle
Well,
stuff.
she has multiple companies.
Really?
But her worth is like, I think she's like over $1 billion or something. Like she's not.
Fucking her.
And she's not even acting.
No. Why would she act?
She doesn't need to.
She doesn't need to.
Yeah, she did it right. You got to find another way in.
Yeah. That's what we all are working toward. What's
podcasting? This is going to make a lot of money.
If Jessica Alba started a pod.
You call her Jessie Alba? You said it like
Jessie
you're her friend.
Alba. Look, I haven't finished a word this entire episode.
Jessie Alba?
Yo, Jessie Albs. I mean, you said ADH, so.
Yeah, I did. Did you have fun? You seemed stressed. You seemed stressed to be on the show.
I seem stressed?
Yeah, you kept getting upset that we were fighting, but you knew we would fight.
I wasn't upset we were fighting. You were upset we were fighting.
I was a little bit, but I got over it. I can never
I mean, to be fair, like you love fighting.
I do like fighting.
And so I intentionally antagonized you.
I do.
Because I figured that was the best way to be a good podcast guest, to bring out the best in you.
This is what people, by the way, when I'm watching YouTube, if someone says like, this person destroys this, I'm like, click, watch,
yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Like I do like.
I don't watch YouTube.
What do you watch? If you don't watch YouTube, I don't know what people watch. That's all I watch is YouTube. I just hang out on YouTube. I go insane.
I watch a lot of TV.
Okay.
And then I try to follow my bliss.
All right, now you're trying to piss me off. Look, do you have any shows or anything coming up, or like things to promote?
The show that I host and produce, the I Need Attention comedy show at Sassafras Saloon, is coming back August 25th, 7 p.m. and September 29th, also 7 p.m. with music following. It's a free show. Come on out. Erick's done it. He was hilarious.
I was your headliner.
Erick was my headliner.
Swish.
And for sports, and you hate when people yell.
It's the most. You couldn't have ended in a more annoying way to me than to do the hacky sports line that I hate.
And
Sasser, your show's great, by the way. Her show's awesome. It's like the coolest venue. Have you had, like, when you did it again? Because when I did it, there's like 25 people fit in the room. Mm-hmm. But then if you sit on the outside of the room, you can look in through the windows and the sound is still there. Yeah. So it's like people can talk at the bar, but also pay attention to the show, but they're not heckling the show.
And everybody who's like in the actual room is getting the full room experience.
It feels like
distracted.
It feels like it's like it's like an escape room or something where there's like a room and then people watching and listening to the room. And oddly enough, the acoustics are like when people laugh at the bar, I can hear them. Yeah. But when they talk at the bar, I can't. So it's like one of the cooler places to go see a show.
I'm loving it.
If you're in LA, say the dates again. It was August 25th
at 7 p.m. and September 29th at 7 p.m. And it's hopefully monthly for a while. Until, I lose my mind or something. And then follow me, Meredith Hackman Comedy, Instagram. Go to my website, meredithhackman.com. What else do I do? That sounds like good stuff.
That's great. Yeah. And then I'll just thank you for coming on the show. It was fun.
And support my husband, Rob Stern.
You don't got to mention your husband. I hate when women feel they have to support.
Thank you for supporting women always.
Yeah, I'm not going to have another woman on this show until Liz in like 3 months from now. I have like...
You're bumping Liz for 3 months?
I'm like...
You're like...
Liz canceled on me.
I know. I'm the replacement woman. I'm always... Whenever I get a phone call from Erick, I'm like, did Liz cancel on something again?
Listen, I have female friends that I can have on the show. I just haven't asked them yet.
Right.
But
I am your friend.
You are my friend. You are not my wife's... You're not my friend's wife. Mm-hmm. I've known you longer than I've known Rob.
Really?
Yes. We were friends before I was friends with Rob.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh. Like, I didn't really talk to Rob.
Who would?
Until Stranger was like when I really started like becoming friends. We knew each other well before that.
Stranger was a very good improv team.
Yes, that was. Yeah, I try not to talk about the improv days here. They'll tear.
I remember Erick from his improv days.
They'll tear me apart.
Dark improv days.
Oh my god. I mean, I'll tell you what. You would have come to see an improv show, and I would have told you who to vote for because I had a strong opinion on who could lead this country, who would enact the correct legislation for workers' rights. Mm-hmm. I used to know that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It did not make me feel better.
No, but now you were like, I don't like knowing things.
Now I
do stand up and I don't know anything.
I said this on the podcast, if I had a choice between having the perfect opinion or the perfect joke, it's not even close. I'd rather have the perfect joke and not know. I like that. That's my service to this great country is people come out, play the national anthem. People come out to shows. They get babysitters for their kids. They sit their asses down in a seat and I make them laugh and forget about their problems. You can't sing. Thank you for, you have to, that's a great. Listen, you have to mess up the lyrics so that I don't have to pay for it.
That's not public domain?
I don't know.
It's American.
Well, I'm nervous. I don't know how public domain works. Jimi Hendrix's family writes me a letter for that.
I was going for the Fergie, but
Oh yeah, that's very funny. We have to go. That's a hard out. We're done. Thank you for coming on the show. Super fun, and you'll be back
in like 3 to 4 years.
Yeah. All right. Later.
Later.